There's a paradigm that needs to shift right now. The people that make better health decisions is because they've learned over time and they're more educated usually. And they understand that the body has the ability to heal itself. So instead of adding stuff to the body, we just got to remove interferences so the body can heal itself.
When did we change that paradigm, by the way? Because I never thought about it as a paradigm until just now when you said that. And I was like, you're right. Like, we're thinking about things completely wrong. What happened?
I think it has to do with the 60s. I think, I'm going to assume it's from the 60s because that's when everything went downhill. We changed the food that
60s?
Yeah, we changed the food that we were getting. We changed in the 80s. The vaccine manufacturers got immunity as well. But for example, my grandmother, they grew up home. My grandmother was born at home, no vaccines, perfectly healthy. A lot of people, older people in Puerto Rico, usually if they're sick, most of the time they're gonna try and fix their problems with a home remedy. But they understood that the body could heal itself. You gave it the right stuff. Somewhere along time, that shifted. I'm going to say the 60s. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it just comes with technology and protecting your vested interest in those corporations as they come out. Microwaves.
Yep.
You went from cooking in very normal ways over the fire, to speed cooking.
Your lights changed from fire being your candle light to...
We have the electric,
all the blue
we're
light.
all carrying around radiation.
In our
cell phones
pocket.
and tablets. We just
Literally
put it right on our face all day, every day. It's great.
Yep.
So
And earbuds just right in your ear, frying your brain
A lot
out.
of it comes from the technology and people keeping up with
it,
that.
Yeah, there's definitely been a shift in that paradigm. I don't hear a lot of people talking about your body's ability to heal itself. I don't hear that a lot. If anything, I hear more people saying that the doctor was the hero of the story. Interesting. Where the doctor just went in and did something, and then the hero of the story was your body. Yeah. It's like you take antibiotics. Antibiotics, they don't heal you. They just literally stop the reproduction of the bacteria so that your body can heal itself. Right? So we just have the wrong concept of what is health. That's another problem. We have the wrong definition of health. We think that health is we feel good, we look good, then we're healthy. That is so far from the truth. Health it's an internal thing. It's how is our body functioning emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and not the mere absence of symptoms. That's actually the definition from the WHO. The only good thing they have, right? So it's a conversation about function. And we've lost that. We don't talk about function. We only talk about how we feel, how we look. And if you're feeling good and you're looking good, then you're healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought before I got, started in studies and stuff, I always thought if it was available to me, that there was some governing body out there who regulated it, made sure it was safe for consumption, safe for me to have, and that, some things might have sugars and things, but never would have thought that preservatives and dyes and other chemicals and processing of these foods would be happening, and that the things that I'm getting could be bad for me. And I think a lot of us kind of felt like, and maybe we were in a place where that was the case. And at some point, somebody recognized that and decided to manipulate that comfort that we had in the safety of the government and the foods that they're approving for us. And unfortunately, they kind of turned around and stabbed us in the back with it. Yep. And now we're here eating things. We have raised generations on some of these things. And it's going to be hard to turn all that around.
It's a paradigm shift.
We always thought it was safe. And now you've got to turn around and tell people, oh, I know you've been eating that for 10 years. It's bad for you, but I'm still here today. Why is it bad for me?
Sure. And a lot of people, now that you mentioned that, because a lot of people, they associate, let's say a red dye, for example, or a pesticide to, if today I felt good and I look good and I've been eating that all my life, I'd be saying, it hasn't killed me, so I'm good. What are you talking about? However, they have all these systemic issues that they might not correlate with the toxicity from that specific chemical. And then you bring the conversation of bioaccumulation. Yeah, not only, let's say, for example, another type of person that on top of them getting that toxicity from what they're eating, they're also exposed to different things. let's say radiation or lead in the walls or another
Pesticides.
pesticide or another stressor, toxic stressor, then that keeps adding up.
You know what's fascinating? You keep talking about, people feel good. And Hannah says, I'd love your opinion on this. Is like, I think I thought I felt good until I actually started eating right. And then I actually felt good. But you didn't actually realize how bad you felt until you felt good. Did you experience any of that?
That's funny. I was thinking right now, the perfect example, not necessarily about me, but it's one of our patients. So the other day, this was last week, I love her to death. But we started the conversation, or I asked her, like, hey, how are you feeling? Because for the past 2 weeks, she was having the worst sinus infection. Like, she was so congested. We're like, I was like, what's going on? She's like, girl, I don't know. I'm like, well, why don't you try, I don't know if you're eating it, but avoid taking dairy. I was just like putting it out there. She's lovely. She's like, no, that's because I'm not even hungry, but the only thing that I can eat that I feel comfortable is cheese. Like, I was like, why don't you just like skip it and see how it goes? She's like, it's just it's the only thing that I love and that I can eat right now.
She only eat cheese?
No, that's not the other thing. But I was like, the point was like, hey, try to avoid. Like she's so congested.
Yeah.
But for the past 2 weeks, every time she walks in, and she's like, I don't know, I can't get rid of it, and I'm just hitting a wall. And I just suggested, hey, avoid dairy, because the mucus and all this stuff that you guys are always talking about. And she's like, then I'll try. I mean, I haven't seen her yet this week. I'll see her soon and see
But
how
she's on to the right path, because an elimination diet is how
Right.
I would go about trying to pin down someone's gut issue
but
in the
then
first
going
place.
back to either my body's lacking something, or I'm getting a lot of something
Toxicity,
that is my body is reacting to it. But then I feel like the biggest percentage, we're in control of like how our body reacts to things. I mean, right now the conversation that is happening at Abundance, but in movement, it's the Poland girl, and they're showing me pictures of their cars and stuff. So now the Poland conversation, it's like going around. And then when flu season starts, and then not everyone is allergic to the pollen. I'm sure, like, if your immune system is terrible,
Is your gut's bad?
and your gut is bad,
Your
but
chronic
why?
inflammation, right? But it goes back. This is another paradigm shift that, as human beings, especially nowadays, the conversation, everything is outside in. What is causing my disease, rather than the other paradigm, which is the one we live by, which is inside out. Right? Instead of focusing so much on the soil, right? Let's focus on what's going on inside, right? That's a whole different conversation. And here comes the other issue in healthcare, is that we don't take responsibility over our health. We always put it out to something. It has to be the pollen. It has to be the air. In Puerto Rico, the one thing that gets everybody sick, el sereno.
That or
The
the
what?
Sahara Desert
El sereno,
dust, whatever.
El sereno is like, it's like that
There's
little.
this concept that if you wash
just
your
laughing.
hair,
It's just the stupidest thing
you
ever.
cannot walk outside because the sereno. Like
Sereno, it's like the air at night.
Okay.
That's what
Like,
it calls
you're
it.
gonna
That's
catch
what.
a cold. Don't go outside.
That's
Like
what
your
gets
hair
you.
is your hair is wet. Don't go.
that.
Don't go outside.
It's like a superstition almost.
Yeah, it's el sereno. It's like
He says, not almost.
it's the stupidest thing ever. It's sereno. It's the breeze at night. That's what gets you sick. I was like, that's not what gets you sick. It's not the pollen that gets you sick. It's not the flu that gets you sick.
Your Glade
You get sick. Why? Because you do sick. You talked about that before. So the conversation has to shift.
Wait. Say that again. You get sick because
You don't get sick, you do sick.
You do sick.
It's kind of the idea that, for instance, in your household, one person gets sick and you kind of put them aside. The whole house doesn't necessarily go down. There's still that one spouse who's going off to work. The kids still go to school. Dad's at home sick, whatever. But if you got sick, then everybody in the household would get sick because you're all exposed to it.
That is
But
not
you have
true.
different immune systems and different abilities to fight these things.
To fight off.
The other day I said
Individuals.
that to a patient. You never get sick. I was like, girl, I do sick. And then I
No,
kept
you don't do sick. You don't do sick.
that's what I meant.
So is the whole like you're gonna catch my germs? Be careful. What,
That's a germ theory. It's not. The germ theory is so far from the truth, because if the germ theory was true, everybody would be dead. That we get killed or sick because of germs. It's our immune system the most important thing at the end of the day. how's your body functioning inside? Is it able to attenuate, right? Or turn that bacteria or kill it? That's the conversation. So the conversation shouldn't be about, can I stay inside of a bubble so I don't get exposed to the pollen? No, it's like, what can I do to build my immune system, get my body healthier, so when I go out, the pollen doesn't create this histamine effect in my body.
So many paradigm shifts.
Again, we're so far from what true health is, and that's why we're in this healthcare epidemic. Yeah, access to healthcare, reducing drug costs, freedom of choice, removing immunity from vaccine makers. These are great strategies, right? But they don't fix the root of the problem, which is a mental shift.